anyway, this morning, just as always, you have a lot going on. You're trying to do 1,000 things. And pastor's out, my wife's out, everybody's out, and it's like, trying to be an associate pastor, president, worship leader, trying to be a pastor, trying to be a good host to our guests, and just, trying to make sure that the Holy Spirit has a platform to move, and with 99.99% of the time, he doesn't need my help anyway. So it's just what I do. And, but anyway, I was sitting here and I got here this morning and there were flies everywhere. Golly. And we had a work day yesterday, so the door was open a lot. And there were flies all over in the church. I mean, I'm over here trying to do praise and worship practice, and flies are like landing on your face and everything. People are going to think I have like some weird Tourette's or something, trying to lead praise and worship, trying to get flies off of me. And I was sitting there during praise and worship, and we're struggling a little bit with the first song and all that. And I was like, Lord, just take the flies away. I said that to myself in my head. I said, Lord, just take the flies away. Just do that. And I was sitting here, and all of a sudden, if anybody knows what a fly spider is, the little robotic black ones, it literally went and sat here. And I was like, that's interesting. Not quite what I meant. Then it got on the cable, and it went all the way up, and then it went right here, and then it sat right here. I'm not, don't bother me at all, And I was like, then he got right here, and I was like, I stopped thinking, I was like, back down there. And anyway, he did. He went all the way back down, and right here, he jumped up to here, and he got right here, and he went into this hole. And I knew what he was doing because he was waiting for the flies to land. He hid himself to wait for the fly to land. And this is why I want to share that to you. When you pray for something, don't be scared when God answers it a different way you weren't planning. When you pray for that boldness, when you pray for what you prayed for, or anything you pray for, we have a plan. My plan was the flies would just go away. That'd have been easy. He could have done it. Not a problem. But he says, no, I want to do it a different way. I have other ways. I'm going to send a fly spider. I'm not saying he sent it, but it was good. It brought joy. It just brought joy. I got to watch it jump a few times during praise and worship, and I thought it disappeared. Then I come up here to introduce you, and he was over there. And I didn't want to freak. I didn't know how she was. So I was like, y'all didn't see it this morning, but you saw me do this. I was trying to knock him down to make him leave and get scared to be up here. He come up here, and I was like, you better go away, buddy. Go get the other fly. But it's, the cool thing about it and why it brought joy to my life was just the fact is we have plans, and we think these plans are going to go a certain way. Lord, I pray for this. Lord says, I'm going to answer it. But it's not always how you think it needs to be answered. I'm going to take care of it, but it might be a little scary. You might have a little phobia. You might think it not practical, but I promise you it'll work. You just have to trust the process. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that this morning before we got going forward.